What's up, guys? It's your boys Wookie, back with another scary, terrifying, and creepy video from the Shadow Man. It's been quite a long time since we've watched one from the Shadow Man because the Shadow Man decided that he didn't want to do YouTube anymore. It wasn't what he was. I really miss the Shadow Man. Hopefully he comes back. But a lot of people, like hundreds of you, have sent me this clip. I don't even know how I didn't see this one. Obviously, the words are up in the air. Is the Watts family home haunted? Obviously, we've seen some clips, we've seen some images, heard things and stuff like that when it comes to EVPs, giggling, crying, talking. It sounds like a woman and stuff like that. The discrepancies up there, it's almost like a 50-50 or like a 60-40 if it's haunted, if it's not haunted. But everybody's stating that I need to watch this, okay? It's the Watts family house, Paranormal Activity. This is probably going to be the last one I do of this because the people that are there are trying to move on. They're trying to enjoy their lives with their new home that was actually freshly painted. So it's actually white now with black trim that go with the brick. And it's actually a very pretty or a nice looking home now. But we're going to take a look at this Shadow Man. Since I haven't done one from Shadow Man, and a lot of you have been asking me to watch and react to this. But before we go any further, what I want you guys to do is subscribe for more content when it comes to the scary, the paranormal, nerdiness, and stuff like that. This channel is free to do. It's easy to do, and there's tons to enjoy. Again, this video is not for any disrespect. I've said this how many times. I myself am trying to educate myself on one, the paranormal, two, what happens to our bodies when we leave. If somebody's murdered in a house, do they go to heaven? Do they go to hell? Does your residual energy stay in that home while your soul lives beyond and goes to heaven or hell, depending on how you were on earth? I want to find the truth out myself by watching that. And it's not just the Watts family house. I've watched other things. I mean, you guys can take a look at my channel. The way that this hits me at home is because I'm a family man myself. I have two daughters. I have a son. He had two daughters and an unborn son, and he took the lives of those three individuals, including his unborn son, because he wanted to start over. That myself literally pisses me off because those little girls looked up to their father as a protector, as the man in their lives until they found a spouse to marry. And that's what pisses me off is he took that sanctity of those innocent little girls. And Shannan, beautiful woman, beautiful individual, she wanted to strive and make things work and stuff like that. And then unborn Nico, he didn't even have a chance. And he would have been a cute little kid as well when he was born. And it just hits me at home because I myself have a spouse, my three young kids, and I'm there to be there for them. So it kind of hits home. That's why I'm doing this video. It's not to be disrespectful in any sort of way. It's educational. So please take that in consideration. I've said this on every single video that I've posted when it comes to the hauntings. There are some of you that believe it 100%, like myself. There is something inside that house, residual. I wouldn't say demonic. Somebody said demonic, and I don't believe that there's demonic inside this house. Residual, possibly. There's events that took place in there that are unheard of, bad, should have never happened, obviously, because the death of Shannan was in the home. There's a big discrepancy that Chris blamed Shannan for killing the kids, but then he also stated later on that to somebody in an interview that he said that his mistress Nicole actually killed the girls. But then we see shadows and different. I'll post links in the description of those videos because you can actually see a little shadow walk behind the truck, and Chris bends down to pick that shadow up, which is obviously one of the little girls. So the girls were not actually killed at the home. They were killed in the car on the way to the location of their place of placement at the end, which was, again, unheard of. There's big, huge rumors that Nicole Kissinger was also involved. I've posted those links down below as well. Two videos I posted that Nicole was an accessory to murder. She should be charged for an accessory to murder, abuse of a corpse, deleting information and stuff like that from text messages and videos and emails and photos. I'm not going to get into it. Watch the link in below as well. We're here for the paranormal to see if there's anything more that's in this home. Now, there's been Facebook post from the previous or the new owners of this location, they have not mentioned anything when it comes to paranormal. They're probably not going to because they want to live their lives like they should. That this is their homes now. It's the Miller's home. It's not the Watts home anymore. It's the Miller's home. So take that in consideration as well. So with that being said, let's get in the video and see what Shadow Man has given us for the Watts family house paranormal activity. Let's take a
look. The documentary.
I miss
Netflix
Shadow.
Has recently released American Murder: The Family Next Door,
Great
a
documentary
on Chris Watts and how he murdered his family. The true crime doco didn't cover anything potentially paranormal related from within the house, such as the supposed shadows and EVPs that many people have mentioned they've seen and heard while watching the police officers investigate. So, in this video we'll dive into some of this and see if we can make sense of any of it.
Also, just stating, I don't know if they're going to mention this in there, the documentary had a little girl that everybody stated that they thought it was a little ghost girl. It was actually the family's friend daughter that went to that room to play with the toys. It's not a ghost. It is actually the neighbor's child that's in there. So I just want to reiterate that.
Background. Christopher Lee Watts and Shannan Catherine Watts were natives of Spring Lake and Aberdeen, North Carolina, respectively. They met in 2010 and were married in Mecklenburg County on November 3, 2012. They had two daughters, Bella Marie Watts and Celeste Catherine, or Cece, and lived in this 5-bedroom home in Frederick, Colorado. Chris was employed by Anadarko Petroleum while Shannan was an independent representative for a multi-level marketing company. The disappearance. Shannan returned home from a business trip to Arizona at about 2 a.m. on August 13, 2018, after getting a ride from her friend and colleague Nicole Atkinson. Later that day, Shannan and the girls were reported missing by Atkinson, who became concerned when Shannan missed a scheduled doctor's appointment and failed to return text messages.
The friend was
After
freaking out, not Chris.
Neighbors and police to think that his wife and two little girls had vanished without a trace, Chris Watts was arrested 2 days later on August 15th. Chris failed a polygraph test and subsequently confessed to murder.
Which, again, I know I'm interrupting, I'm sorry. They gave Chris a polygraphic test. Why didn't they give Nicole Kessinger a polygraphic test? Why? Also, no lawyer present, only the father. And apparently there's only one police officer in that room with asking questions. Shouldn't there be two? Just throwing that out there. Plus, they never investigated her phone as much as they should have. I'm not going to get into that, but they should have polygraphed Nicole Kessinger.
Murdering Shannan and his two daughters. He strangled Shannan and smothered his daughters to death and then transported their bodies to a remote oil storage site where he worked. The authorities soon located the bodies of the Watts family members on the property of his former employer, Anadarko Petroleum. Chris is now spending the rest of his life in prison.
Good.
Voices. Prior to Chris admitting to the murders, part of the investigation included a police canine team who entered the Watts family house in search of evidence of the missing family members. The police searched the house from top to bottom, all while wearing body cams, which of course
unedited
recorded the whole thing.
Okay.
Some viewers of said body cam footage are convinced that the poor souls of the family can be heard and maybe even seen in parts of the video.
I think residual.
This first part comes from when the officers enter what looks to be the walk-in wardrobe used by Shannan for her clothing and shoe collection.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Wow.
What sounds like a young girl's voice.
There's discrepancy about this too, that there's a toy inside that closet that the dog accidentally hit, which caused it to giggle. A lot of people think it's one of the girls. A lot of people think it's that toy. You tell me down below in the comments. Is it the toy or is it the giggles of the girls? I think it's the toy. That's just me.
Yells out the word mommy followed a couple of seconds later by the sound of a giggle.
There's plenty of her standing here.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world is that?
You can hear the mommy.
Standing here.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both officers state in the video that they do in fact hear the giggle, but then they struggle to find out where the sound originated from. Initially, they thought it may have come from a kid's toy
That right
from
there.
within the wardrobe, but
The far
after
right.
searching for such item, they come up with nothing.
Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came from.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It might. It sort of sounds like it.
And they couldn't do it.
Something. There was a. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
They leave the room acknowledging what they've heard and state they'll put it on the report. The police continue searching the house and unknowingly capture what many people think quite possibly could be more EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena.
See, a lot of people are like, oh, it might be the woman behind the camera. Why would she sit there and say something like that? I'm with Cece. That makes no sense. EVPs are obviously electric voice phenomenon. I wish somebody would go in this house and use that Panasonic recorder. Just think of the stuff that we could hear from this. But listen to it again.
A commenter in one of the original
What the hell?
videos writes that the words "I'm with Cece" sounds like it's been said with a gravely voice, almost as if how one would talk if they had injuries to the neck.
I'm with Cece.
Shadow.
Or some people think it's the dog. You can hear the dog. Why would you hear the and then hear I'm with Cece? Come on. Okay?
Viewers of the police body cam footage also believe that one of the daughters quite possibly can be seen gliding down the stairs when the canine.
I know I keep interrupting. I'm just pausing for effect because I'm trying to talk to everybody that might be in the comments. Now, they think this is an effect where the railing is actually mixing with the banister that's at the top there with that gate that's there. So when you move, it makes shapes and things move, and that's what people are saying, that it might be fake because that visual effect makes it look like there's somebody moving there. But then you also see somewhat of an outline. It's kind of interesting. Just watching. Let me know what you think.
Canine investigation team first arrives at the Watts family house. However, this I'm not too sure about. Let me know if you see it.
And this is where they still don't know where the girls are. Like, they couldn't find Bella, Cece, or Shannan. They're investigating, trying to smell out to figure out if they're in the home. So they don't even know that they're dead yet. So right up here.
It smells like cleaning, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It smells like.
I don't know.
It smells like.
In addition to this,
I can't tell.
viewers in the past also believe that there is a shadow that can be seen moving in the kitchen.
Is there?
This footage was recorded one night after a group
Oh,
of
this
police
one.
officers were called out to the Watts family house after neighbors reportedly saw a woman walking around inside the house late at night. Reports state that a woman was seen walking back and forward inside the house while lights repeatedly turned off and on. This next clip shows what a lot of viewers think could be the shadow of one of the family members.
Far right. See, the fridge opens up and then shuts. And then you see the shadow walk by. That's why the cop is like, literally like, is somebody in there?
It almost looks like the police officer saw this as well, as they almost immediately turned and looked in that direction. But who knows?
Why would the fridge open
Condolences. We now move on from all of the police body cam footage and take a look at a video that one of the members of public captured in the last week or so. Frank Mendez from
Oh,
Franco
this one.
TV, if you didn't know already, is a well-known YouTuber known for his paranormal related videos. Frank typically explores old, rundown, abandoned and supposedly haunted buildings. This time, however, he made his way to the Watts family house to pay his condolences to the family and, more specifically, the two young girls, Bella and Cece, by bringing them a teddy bear to the house and leaving it on the front porch as many other people have done. As Frank is doing this, his viewers on his live stream ask him to take out and use his thermal camera. He agrees and takes it out and points it towards the house.
He did this
Frank and
live,
his viewers
by the way.
then see what possibly looks like two people standing upstairs in one of the bedroom windows.
What the hell am I
Right in the
seeing?
middle, right there. You see two entities right there next to each other.
Again, this is coming straight.
No other
From
window is
Frank's
doing this,
perspective.
just that one. And this is live.
Look, it looks like somebody else just came in on the far left.
Frank also believes that he caught what he thinks could be a face at yet another window looking back at him. Once again, I'm not too sure if I see this. Let me know if you can see it.
I kind of see it.
Use the thermal one more time. Oh wait, look at the front window there. To the right, on the
Right in the
window.
middle right here.
Not the window, the one to the door.
It looks like
looks like a
somebody's looking
face.
through. But it could be a
Right
case
next to
of
the thermostat
pareidolia.
on the door, on the right hand side.
By the looks of it, the house has gone into default, which wouldn't be a surprise as there's no longer anyone to pay the bills. It's also rumored that the neighboring homeowners are worried about the value of their homes coming down as the Watts house has failed
I
to
think it
sell
actually
in
sold
over
for like
2 years.
$500,000.
Chris has obviously not only ruined his own life, his family's, but potentially nearby residents as well. So, with all due respect, is the Watts family home occupied or even haunted by the spirit of Shannan and or her daughters like many people now think it is? Or are all of these little things just coincidences? Personally, I would hate to think that those poor souls are forever trapped in that house, wondering what they did wrong. Hopefully that is not the case. But at the end of the day, you've got to ask yourself, what
do you
believe?
think? It's what you believe. And then with that being said, there's another clip I want to show you guys. Now it's going to be a little hard to see this, but a lot of the times the lights would go off randomly. No, there was no timer inside the home. That was debunked as well. But if you watch the top left window of the Watts house, this was a few years ago, back in 2021, or a couple years ago, I should say. But when somebody went to the location, the lights were on, and somebody was walking inside the house. But no car were there. So watch and let me know what you guys think. Watch the top left window. You can see something up in the window. Look, 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 look. Top left, it moves from the left to the right. I'll show you guys one more time. See, right there. See it moving? So take it with a grain of salt what you guys think on this. I'm 100% guaranteeing myself that there is residual energy there. I don't believe it's Bella, Cece, or Shannan. I do believe that they're off into a better place. I mean, what did they do wrong? They just were trying to live, and they were taken away from the world way too early because somebody wanted to start over. When divorce could have been an option, I mean, he would have had to pay child support. Get over it. You did this, but killing is not an option. Murder is not an option. If you're not happy, divorce or try to make it work. This was not the way it should have been handled. The monster is in prison. We don't have to worry about him anymore. He's there. What other bothers me too is apparently Nicole has been writing, emailing to Chris here and there still, which is unfortunate and ridiculous that they're allowed to do that. But again, it's all, I mean, there's no more clips to watch. I mean, we've literally watched all the clips. We've listened to the EVPs. We've taken a look at it. 100% certainty for myself, I do believe there is something in that house. Residual. Not demonic, not evil, but I do believe Nicole had an evil tendency towards Chris because apparently she was into Wicca. She was into dark magic, Ouija boards and stuff like that. Couldn't have something affected to that extent? Who knows, okay? I don't necessarily think that there's witches with broomsticks and stuff like that running around casting spells like Nicole could be on Chris, but some type of mysterious works were in there. Maybe lust, maybe love, who knows? That's what he was thinking towards Nicole, and I'm not going to get into it much more. If you want to watch those videos, the links are in the description below. But when it comes to paranormal, it's not the dog. The dog is literally going, and you hear, I'm with Cece. The same time the dog is panting, okay? We've heard that this is our home. It sounds like a woman, okay? It's unedited body, chest footage that we're watching. They don't even know that the girls are dead yet or deceased. They're investigating to figure out they've been stuffed in the home and stuff like that. So there's something there, okay? EVPs just don't come out of nowhere, okay? They come from entities or energy that resides there in that location. So comment your thoughts down below. Again, for those people that have never seen my channel, you guys are probably here for the first time. Watch the other videos and let me know your guys' partake on this story. And we'll see you guys in the next one. So please take care, be safe to one another, love each other, and we'll see you guys in the next one. So keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.